Well, hello there, jumpers. And I'm here with Night City Wire. Just my sort of cut down version. I've taken out all the talking and all the interviews. I'm just going with the raw footage of gameplay, and I must say, I am blown away. So yeah, they cover gangs, they cover the streets, they cover some of the... Oh, there's so much to go over it. Let's just take a look at the footage. So this, I tuned in, so it's almost like a TV station in a way. And it's got its own sort of adverts. It's got sort of, you know, like the guy in RoboCop, I'll buy that for $1. It's got that sort of feel to it in some areas. Kind of cheesy, but at the same time, very sort of high-tech and futuristic, though. I mean, look at this. He actually buys a little stick with meatballs on. I wonder if you have to actually eat for sustenance. I wonder if that's the thing, to raise your health, you have to eat. I don't know. But there's that guy that I was on about, the very RoboCop-esque. Yeah, I'll buy that for $1. I'm liking the graffiti on the bench there as well. And some of the grime and the dirt. I mean, that's another thing. They've actually been given specific jobs to go around in the streets and put trash in. So that's quite cool. The immersion level is something crazy. His dancing skills are not. That was terrible. Her dancing skills were a little bit better. But here we go. It looks like there are drugs and alcohol and all sorts of snazzy shizzle going on here. I mean, the city looks like it's got grime, but then it also looks like it's got sort of like high-end aspects to it as well. Each area looks like it's got its own sort of reason to be there and to go there. I just think it looks like a living, breathing city. And if it... I mean, look how good it looks. I mean, if it plays as good as it looks, this is definitely going to be the game of the year, if not the game of the frickin' decade. It's looking amazing. I don't want to overhype it too much, because sometimes we've seen some great gameplay trailers and we get the game, we go to play it ourselves, and it just doesn't feel right. So let's just hope that the game mechanics and the feel... I mean, we're going to have the haptic feedback pad on the PlayStation 5, so that's going to be an interesting feeling, I think. But yeah, some of these environments, I mean, look at that. It's freaking epic. I mean, the stage thing there is not so much. It's a bit X Factor on a lower budget, isn't it, really, that? But that, with the flying cars and stuff, very Fifth Element. And I'm loving the multi-tiered, like, highways that you saw there. I wonder if you could sort of run and jump off of one and onto the other. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Land on a car or something. I don't know whether any of this is possible. I'm just sort of theorising and speculating, if you like. But that'd be so cool. It'd be like something out of the freaking Matrix. And there's some small things in here that I really like the puddles and the reflections in the puddles in the actual streets. It looks amazing, and this night city view at night is awesome. Again, very sort of Fifth Element or Total Recall-y type feel, or even Judge Dredd. One of my favourite animes and also favourite films of the last year or so was Battle Angel Alita, and yeah, it's going to be so cool to be actually playing in that sort of environment, in that sort of, you know, era, if you like. But yeah, another thing is Altered Carbon. This reminds me so much of Altered Carbon as well. But the Badlands feel like Mad Max. So there's going to be lots of different feels depending on where you start off. Now, I'm probably going to go as a corpo, but part of me also wants to play as a nomad, so you start out in the Badlands, because that looks pretty damn epic in the Badlands. Not going to lie. There you go. Let's see all the reflections in the puddles and stuff. It looked like a scene out of the movie The Crow or something in that alleyway. The map looks massive, and I'm liking the fact that this is very sort of adult orientated as well. It has got that feeling that, you know, you're going to be playing inside a movie almost. And some of these gangs are freaking scary as. These guys, I don't want to mess with them. I'm kind of... I mean, I play relaxing games. I don't play games like this, ever. The only reason I'm picking this up is I used to play the dice rolling role-play version of it, because I'm a geek. And it looks like they've brought it to the screen, to an actual physical console. And it looks like it's going to be almost line for line for the role play. I mean, I'm liking the character sheets, the progression. I'm liking these gangs. I'm liking the level of immersion. I mean, all this stuff you conjure up in your head when you're playing the dice game. And what I had in my head doesn't come close to this. This is better than what I imagined in my head. And that's pretty amazing, because I grew up on some pretty hardcore sci-fi. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is amazing. If CD Projekt Red have done this a solid, I'm going to be so happy. I mean, you see that house there all painted up like it was an American flag, so that's a gang thing as well. You sort of crazy American type people, which they look like they party hard, and yeah, I wouldn't want to mess with them. They look like complete nutters. And then, oh, the Voodoo Boys. I like these ones. These are sort of like net runners. They're almost like the ghosts of the city. They're almost like legends or myths. And they sort of hack things and stuff like that. They work in the background. Very sort of Morpheus from the Matrix. And I'm liking that. I'm liking that even the gangs have a lot of variance. And not only have the areas of the city got variance, but the gangs that have control of those areas are very different as well. And I'm liking that level of variety. So from where you go, different pockets are going to feel very, very different when it comes to immersion, and you've got to learn these different areas and the different gangs that control them, or else I'd imagine you're going to not last too long. But look at the amount of action that's going on here. It's freaking mental. The size of these guys. So these are called the Animals, I believe, and it looks like they just use enhancements, whether that's biological or sort of like technological, to up their freaking status. They're like freaking tanks. I'm like a bloody pretzel. That snapped me in two. So yeah, oh, these tiger claws, these look pretty damn freaking interesting as well. Now, I'd imagine if you want to get yourself a samurai sword, you might want to go see the old tiger claws. I'm loving all the holographic, like, koi carps and things. And another thing they mentioned is, you see that it's a Jig Jig Street or something like that, but every single street has got a street name. So if you are to be asked to go somewhere, you can take the street name and find it, which is pretty damn awesome. And I'm liking this gang as well. So they're kind of like badass female type characters. I don't know why they have to wear pretty much next to nothing, which is, then again, the guys are hardly wearing anything either, are they? So I guess in the future it's warmer. You know, global warming probably is a thing. So there we are. Yeah, so everybody's just... Well, I can't freaking talk. I'm in a blinking vest up. Yeah, but it has got my own name on it. Heck yes! Yeah, if you want one of these snazzy, merchy type things, you can find a link in my video description. A little plug there. Shameless plug. And look, the Badlands isn't just desert. I saw like almost a marshy area there. And it looks like there's some oil pumps and things from the olden days too. And there are gangs in the Badlands as well, which is pretty damn freaking awesome. It almost looked like they're about to have a street race there in the Badlands. That could be pretty fun. I don't know how much customization you can do to your vehicles, but that could be an interesting element. Anyway, chums, Night City Wire, episode 3. If you want to see all of it, I'll put a link. Well, I put a link at the start, didn't I, to the card? Yeah. Well, I'll probably put it on the end screen as well, and in the video description. But thank you for watching. Take care. Goodbye all. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Well, thank you very much for watching this video, and if you like what you see, please hit a like or a subscribe. And yeah, or you can support my channel through Patreon. Here are all my Patreon backers. Thanking you, Patreon. And I also have YouTube membership. If you want to sign over to YouTube membership, check out my video links in my video description. I also have merch. Grab yourself a fine and dandy pair of socks, a mug or a t-shirt over my merch store. Or I also have Atlas cards that I sometimes have on my eBay store. Check out my video description. So that is the end. Thank you for watching, and please hit a join or a subscribe, or just hit one of these tiles on this screen that you see here now. Stay with Captain Steve a bit longer.